very warm welcome to all our guests. Today is indeed a very, very exciting day. I hope you can all hear us well. It's fantastic to see such a wide audience online. I'm thinking we need to do more virtual launches. It's very rare that when we are doing a launch, we have everybody in 5 minutes before 11. I think this is definitely the way to go. So thank you all for making it to what promises to be a very, very exciting launch. My name is Janet Kimani. I've been given the honorable role to host you all, to welcome you to today's session, and I'll be walking you through today's program. Just an overview of who we have. We have a very wide array of guests and speakers, all very important to us. We have Steve Cheboy from the NGO Council present. Welcome, Mr. Chairman, to this launch. We have Ebenezer Amadi, who's the head of Sustainable Inclusive Business from KEPSA. A warm welcome to you. We have Judy Kimaru, who's the CEO of Africa World Animal Protection. Judy, it's fantastic to see you. Welcome. We have Charles Kimathi from Standard Group, a very key partner of ours from a media perspective, from relaying this information, and also who's doing a lot in the sustainable space. Welcome to you. We have Lucy Dado, who's the CEO of Nurse at Hand, that was recently launched and has agreed to partner with us. Lucy, we are looking forward to engaging with you further. And our team, who without them, this would not have been possible. We have a huge team from India who have mothered this and walked with us this journey until we reached here. That's AfricaCSRconnect, led by Jayant, the CEO, and we'll hear more from him, Jayant Pandey. Welcome. We have Arvind Chalapati, who's been hosting us and walking with us and has had lots of sessions. Arvind, we appreciate you and we are happy that you're here, and we'll hear more from you. And the entire team, we have Dr. Sasi, we have Kavya, we have Rashmi, we have Holly, Amulia, the entire team. We don't take it for granted that you're here, and we look forward to a very, very exciting team. And in Kenya also, we have the whole team assembled here, starting with our CEO, Gerald. We'll hear more. We're happy to have you. We have Marianne Waboy, who's also our Customer Service and Client Experience Director. Happy to have you. We have Edna. Adna, who's our manager in charge of partnerships, and already a lot has happened. We appreciate you, Edna. We look forward to hearing about what's changing on the trends. We have Tamara, who's a project and IT lead. Tamara has done a lot run up to today, just getting everything online and set up. Tamara, we are happy to have you. And our crew, you know, these days on digital, nothing is possible without tech and without video and audio. We have Jim Ciro and Wangeshi, who are here so early in the morning, making sure we look good for camera. Trust you can see we're looking good. So we appreciate you. And at times they'll be telling us to change positions, so please bear with us. So we look forward to this, and what promises to be a very engaging session. So without much ado, I think I'll invite our first speaker from India CSRconnect, Jayant Pandey. The floor is yours.
A very good morning to you all. Namaste from India CSRconnect, Karibuni. Before I embark on our CSRconnect, I would like to talk few things about India, Kenya and Africa. It's my pleasure to take a note of India's development-centric partnership with Kenya and Africa. I understand that training and capacity building are core thrusts of India's engagement with Africa. The heart of the India-Kenya-Africa partnership remains the quest for growth, equity, and inclusive development. On CSR in India, with the formalization of CSR sector under the Companies Act 2013, India emerged as one of the pioneering nations to mandatorily adopt corporate social responsibility. The historic progression was instrumental in redefining the narrative of CSR. That's very important. This led companies to transform from traditional philanthropy towards institutionalizing CSR across all the levels, from governance to policy and then the operational setup of the business. India has a well-defined CSR ecosystem of bills, policies, tools and framework. I am very happy to share with you today we have 21,000 plus companies spending about $3 billion on 29 thematic areas, benefiting millions of people from the vulnerable populations. We are happy to be part of India's CSR journey since 2014 itself. We started our journey from the development of technology platform to bring all the stakeholders in charity, philanthropy and CSR together for a social impact. Today, we have 55 plus NGOs and corporate as our partners working towards various social development goals across India. We are delighted to witness our technology solutions creating an inspiring impact on the life of farmers in rural parts of South India by identifying the right intervention in farming. We are also excited and happy to see that one of the schools leveraging our technology solution to connect the alumni spread across the world, coming together and bringing smiles to rural, backward and economically challenged students by way of sponsoring their education, overall growth in terms of fitness, sports and vocational training. Now, India CSR Connect takes a pride in following the pattern in partnering with AfricaCSRconnect in their quest for making a significant impact on social development landscape across the continent. AfricaCSRconnect is aspiring to be a leader in transforming the way charity, philanthropy and CSR is being carried out in the continent. The attitude of leveraging technology along with immense domain experience and a professional management team is what makes these guys capable enough to transform the social development landscape at national level. All of us at India CSR Connect are very happy to acknowledge the interest, passion, experience, determination, intelligence, dedication, understanding, maturity, and kindness demonstrated by Gerald, Marianne, and team to make our partnership see this day. I personally thank Gerald, Marianne, and the team for making the connect strong. I take this opportunity to share our excitement, joy, and enthusiasm together as a team to wish AfricaCSR Connect a grand success. All the very best, Gerald, Marianne, and team. Keep it up. Let us rock together as a team. Thank you. Asante Sana.
Good afternoon, team Africa CSR Connect. Greetings from India and India CSR Connect. First of all, congratulations to Gerald and team, the Africa CSR Connect team, on launching their initiative today under very difficult circumstances. I must wish you all the best for this journey. And while doing so, I think the team at India CSR Connect is reflecting on our journey so far in the last 5 years when we started building this platform to leverage technology, to build communities, to build an ecosystem, to connect businesses, government, and civil society and bridge the divide. And we've looked at corporates following the triple bottom line approach. We've looked at the government trying to achieve their sustainable development goal targets and the human development indicators. But it's extremely important that all of us join hands together and build this ecosystem and community to achieve these goals. And I'm happy to note that Africa CSR Connect team has worked very closely with our team for the last few months or 1 year now to really come to this day, and mind you, amidst the pandemic when things have been very very difficult, and given the socio-economic landscape and the position we are in, both India and Africa, the subcontinent of India and the continent of Africa, I think are ideally poised to collaborate on such a social venture, on bringing communities together, on building capacities of civil society organizations, on helping corporates identify the right civil society organizations to sort of implement their social projects, to help the government in achieving their SDG goals and improving human development indicators, right? And I think this requires a massive initiative, and I'm happy that Africa CSR Connect has collaborated and is going to collaborate and will continue to collaborate in future. And on this day, we resolve that we will work together in further collaboration for the next few years to see that we really make an impact, we make a difference in the world, to these two continents and subcontinent. And so once again, Gerald and team, wish you all the best, and all the success to you. Thank you.
Hi everyone, this is Shaila from India CSR Connect. I'm delighted that we are taking a baby step in the mother continent. Wishing a great success and all the very best to Africa CSR Connect.
CSR Connect team. This is Amulya from India CSR Connect. Congratulations on your new venture. We are very happy and excited to be a part of this journey. Let us all work together and make this a grand success. My best wishes to the whole team. Thank you.
Hi, good morning all. This is Chandini from India CSR Connect. I am very much happy and delighted to be on this journey of social impact along with Africa CSR Connect. I wish them a great start and huge success in this new journey. All the very best and congratulations to the team. Thank you.
Hi guys, myself Sushila, AVP Corporate Partnership from India CSR Connect family. Today I'm really happy to see the launch of Africa CSR Connect, as I feel it's like growing beyond the boundaries together. I wish our Africa CSR team a great launch and a grand success. All the best team as you kickstarted today. Happy journey guys.
Hi everyone, this is Rashmi from India CSR Connect. I'm happy to connect with Africa CSR Connect. May this is a new phase be very fruitful for us. Best of luck.
Hello everyone, this is Srijit from India CSR Connect. Congratulations to the team of Africa CSR Connect and all the best wishes for your new journey and for your future. Thank you.
All the very best.
Hey, Team India, thank you so much. We know, we don't take your well wishes, and we know with your support, we will go far. It's very impressive what you've done in the last 5 years. And we are hoping if we can just latch on that, we know we'll go far. Thank you very much. Jan, thank you. We appreciate those remarks. And we know, we are progressing from philanthropy to institutionalizing CSR. It's a journey, and we know with you, we will be able to make impact in this space. So I invite Edda to just give us a brief overview on how that journey looks like, what it looks like, the transition from philanthropy to institutionalizing CSR. Just a brief overview.
A very good morning, everyone. My name is Eda Kipego, as you've heard from Janet. I'm in charge of corporate and NGO partnership. To start us off for discussion today, I'd like to talk about the connections we are creating for sustainable impact. Now, according to the NGO Coordination Board 2019 report, 88% of funds that NGOs receive are from the foreign donors, while 2% are locally funded by the private sector. So these are very big risk to NGO sustainability, and we strongly believe that we need to focus on a new approach to diversify the NGO funding. This can be achieved through leveraging corporate social responsibility, as well as transition to innovative modes of fundraising, such as crowdfunding and philanthropy. So just to explain a little bit about the transition we're talking about, usually business entities base their operations on the normal triple bottom line approach, which we all understand, which involves people, planet, and prosperity. And for a long time, this framework has continually focused only on social, environmental, and profits. So to achieve a better result, we believe that corporates need to stretch and adapt two more P's. That is to make them five, which are people, planet, prosperity, and peace. Okay. People, planet, prosperity, peace, and partnership. So let me briefly say something about peace. Although the absence of conflict alone is not enough to bring about sustainable development, no single organization or a business can thrive in an environment where there are skirmishes, where there's no peace. So the same corporates need to work together with other organizations that promote peace. So this trickles down to partnership, which is the second additional P that we are talking about. Now dealing with societal challenges, it goes beyond the ability of one organization. And thus a partnership between the corporate sector and civil society is one of the realistic ways of achieving a shared value. To effectively do this, we believe that both players, that's the corporate and the NGO, should be willing to adapt innovative strategies. And looking at what is happening today, companies and NGOs continue to collaborate by combining resources and expertise to better results. For example, it's a normal trend that to see companies giving its resources to an NGO that addresses environmental issues. While such a company sees this kind of funding as corporate social responsibility, we see it as transactional partnership. This is simply because it is based on an agreement whereby one party provides money and the other which implements provides money to the other which implements the initiative, right? While this trend has attained some positive results over time, it has got its own shortfalls, which have continually affected the end results. And as a professional CSR institution, we believe that in order to enhance sustainable and inclusive partnership, and at the same time achieve impactful shared value, there is a great need to focus on partnership that goes beyond this kind of transactions. So this is a partnership that is transformational and one that is able to develop innovative shared growth. This successful transformational partnership focuses on shared vision, ambition, and a common goal. If these partners are transparent about their concerns and create a common learning environment, they are able to build a trust that is necessary to do things differently. Just to conclude, it is very important for both parties to have a clear understanding of what each of them brings to the table in terms of strength, resources, and development areas. So NGOs are very instrumental in development work. We all know that. However, they sometimes do not have the means and resources to carry out their projects efficiently. Corporates, on the other hand, have the resources, but may not have the capacity and reach to the communities they would like to impact. So in this scenario, the NGO and the corporates need one another and stands a better chance of succeeding in their social investments and complement each other. It's also good to bear in mind that the power of corporate and NGO collaboration does not begin and end with these transformational approaches. It is a commitment and a relationship that requires attention, communication, and nurturing. So thank you everyone.
We're going to have our plenary. Yeah. I'm looking forward. I'm looking at my guests here to see who's there. So our first speaker on the plenary will invite our NGO Coordination Board, Stephen Chibor.
First of all, allow me to appreciate the team, Africa CSR Connect, for putting this together. And on my own behalf and on behalf of our membership organization, that is the National Council of NGOs, I would really like to appreciate you for this, because we as the shoe wearer in terms of this discussion of how to help the sector in terms of sustainability, we are really privileged to have you on this or participate in this launch. I would like to say that just in brief about ourselves, the National Council of NGOs, which is an umbrella body that brings together NGOs in the country, and we are a self-regulating organization that brings together all the registered NGOs in the country. As you may be aware, the category of NGOs we have in Kenya are international in nature and also regional and local. International means those who operate in more than one country or in many countries, maybe in Africa and other regions here in Kenya. Regional means they just operate within a specific region. It could be certain region of the country, and also local NGOs. Local NGOs who operate just within the country. Allow me to say that we have about 28 thematic areas where our member NGOs are registered to work. And I'm sorry I may not be able to share all the thematic areas, but just to mention a few, our member organization work around issues to do with governance, climate change, health, gender, children, development, poverty eradication, peace building, population, training and counseling, small-scale enterprises, and so many other areas. Probably, if time allows in future, I'll be able to share each of the 28 areas. As I said, being a self-regulating organization, we do a lot of capacity building. We are expected to do a lot of capacity building to the membership. That is the all NGOs at national and international level who are our members. We are supposed to champion key values. We have a code of conduct that helps our NGOs to operate within a given parameters. And we are also mandated to represent our constituencies, that is our NGOs, both at local and international level. And we also intervene on policies that affect the sector. So to come to the discussion, and based on the report that was released 2018-2019, there is a lot that needs to be done in terms of implementation around the same. And maybe by working together or partnering with the Africa CSR Connect, it will be a good opportunity for us to ensure that the issues that they were raised in terms of even reporting and compliance is enhanced in the coming years, and especially as we go towards coming up report, generating report for 2019-2020, so that we see an improvement around the same. And then issues around sustainability, which is really a big challenge for our NGOs, because it has also been a challenge on our end, whereby you find an NGO is registered this particular year, and then within 2-3 years, you don't see the NGO again existing because of challenges of sustainability or even funding of the specific programs that the NGO is registered to operate. And then the issues of funding diversification is still a challenge, even on our end. It's something we have been struggling with, because maybe an NGO applies for a certain resources from a certain source, and then within a very short time, there is no more resources because the other one is exhausted. So it's something that we really need to work together as partners to see that this one is also realized. Again, issues around streamlining our work with maybe the national agenda priorities. And I'm glad you mentioned a good number of areas like the Big Four agenda as by Jubilee government, Vision 2030, our vision for the country, sustainable development goals, and other areas like the one you mentioned on HDI and other areas. So basically, what I have to say, these are journeys that are started, and I think by working closely with you, our sister organization, the NGO Coordination Board, and other stakeholders, we'll be able to do something, because NGOs largely are supposed to complement the government and make sure that the people benefit from their services. So I will make a request, maybe later on, we see how to enhance after this launch, so that whatever we are expected as a council and even as a membership organization and even the main regulator, at least we are able to achieve through these partnerships. Thank you so much for inviting us, and we hope to work with you, up more engagements around the areas you proposed, issues around digitalization, fundraising support, and even aligning our projects and other areas of operational support, and even capacity development. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. We look forward to partnering with you to address some of those issues you have raised. Our next speaker is Head of Sustainable Inclusive Business at KEPSA, the Kenya Private Sector Association. We are delighted to have you here and welcome you to just give us your insights on what challenges you're facing about sustainable inclusive business. Ebenezer, the floor is yours.
As she mentioned, my name is Ebenezer Amadi from the Kenya Private Sector Alliance. I'm the program manager under the Sustainable Inclusive Business program. Ladies and gentlemen, I am delighted to be part of this launch today of the AfricaCSRconnect. The launch comes at a time when the country has been having conversations on building back better. The impact of COVID-19 has been felt by every sector. And during the early period of the year, KEPSA conducted a research, and we realized that 81% of enterprises across all sectors showed that they have been negatively impacted by COVID. At Sustainable Inclusive Business, we believe that the new business model mindset is about being future-proof and creating a business model that grows not only profits, but has a positive impact on people, planet, as well as the bottom line, which is a profit. We believe every business can contribute to a sustainable economy. In my experience in the private sector, I have observed that for any business to be sustainable, there has to be a relationship between the business, society, and nature. And in this regard, then we aim to support the businesses to adopt sustainable business practices. We have seen the GDP of the country drop from what had been projected last year, and most companies closing their doors and sending employees home. Nonetheless, the private sector has come out strong to support the community through different initiatives, which are part of the corporate social responsibility initiatives that they have. During this period, we have also observed an increased effort for the private sector also to look at the environment, more or less looking at the disposal of waste. So we are happy that AfricaCSRconnect has created a platform that will support businesses to be able to track their initiatives in terms of looking at the impact at the end on the 3 pillars that I have mentioned: people, planet, as well as profits. So with these few remarks, I am happy and congratulate AfricaCSRconnect for this great initiative, and hope to be a part of it as we support you and the private sector. Thank you.
I like what you said about sustainable development. For there to be sustainable development, there's got to be a very strong relationship between people and nature. That's quite profound. And it leads us nicely to our next speaker, Dr. Judy Kimaru, who's the CEO at Wild Animal Protection. I owe to Judy, I think when I was very young, I had her speak about nature and just how we need to be sensitive to weather, where there are storms in South Africa, when there's tornadoes, because it comes to affect us and will affect our environment and leads to our economy, and why we need to take care of our animals. Dr. Kimaru, I remember you speaking about that, and I'm delighted to welcome you to now address us and tell us more about sustainable livelihoods. Dr. Kimaru.
Hi, everybody. As you heard, my name is Dr. Judy Kimaru, and I'm actually speaking to you live from Kajiado, Kenya. I wish I could show you my background. You'd see herds of cattle moving. In my regular job, I work as a disaster management campaign manager with World Animal Protection. But actually today I want to speak to you about a community-based organization that I've been working with called Eco Clubs of Kenya. And they're based in Kajiado, closer to the Tanzania-Kenya border. And why their story is so relevant is because they started off in 2008. And the reason they were created was because there was a big drought going on. And as usual, during droughts around this area, a lot of people raid other people's farms, and there's usually conflict between landowners, pastoralists, competition for water points, and so on and so forth. So the landowners in this area were not spared from that effect. And having had a background of working a lot in disasters, in places of emergency, I felt that I really needed to work with the local community. I, being part of that local community, actually live here also, and begin to introduce a new way of thinking. Because every 3-4 years, when there's a drought, like we are having now one this year, and extended, the rains have been poor, you find that the pasture is eaten down to the ground. There's no water, and cattle begin to move across the border. They begin to move to other neighboring counties, and conflicts begin. And human-wildlife conflict also goes up, and all sorts of insecurity. So in 2008, when the club started, we realized we could not change the attitudes of the older people. So we targeted children in school and began to teach animal welfare and issues around the environment. And it was really a success, and we were going on very well. But like many community-based organizations, issues around funding and issues around capacity became a big problem, because I was contributing my time there voluntary, and I had another day job, and the funding was coming from private sector. At that time, one of our biggest telecom companies contributed some money. We had an NGO from Netherlands contributing, but when this money dried off, the club continued. The children who were then part of the club today are in their first or second year of university, and they still remember the things they did, and they look forward to really a time when they were learning the kind of things they were learning. Despite the fact they were pastoralists, despite the fact that they live in with animals, there's a lot to learn around environment, better managing our environment. So fast forward to 2020, and we are relaunching the Eco Clubs of Kenya with a real focus on environment and animal welfare, really looking at how do we really deal with these problems. 18 years later, we still have issues with wildlife. Right now, the farm behind me, we have cattle and we also have wildlife. And this is not the national park. We are in the ecosystem around the major national park and Boseli National Park. But in this season, from now up to February, we will have wildlife in this area, we will have livestock, and we will have conflict. How are we dealing with these things 20 years down the road? So I'm very excited that Gerald and team have come up with a real felt need that local community-based initiatives like these ones, where the solution needs to come from here. How do we sustainably live with wildlife? How do we sustainably live with our animals? How do we re-engineer our environment to sustain all our animals? And how do these initiatives continue and become sustainable, being funded from within, locally, and being looked at as a social enterprise? Because the things they contribute are beyond just a good thing. It actually stabilizes the area, results in peace, and then you have local investments being able to come in because the conflicts have reduced in the area. So issues of local NGOs being able to be sustainable and move forward with their program is very, very timely. And I look forward to being part of that going forward. A lot has changed, but the issues 20 years ago are still very much the same. So with that, thank you. And I'm very pleased to be part of this group that's discussing this issue. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kimaru. It's good to hear that, you know, communities are mobilizing, but a little disheartening to hear that 20 years later, we still have the issues. And maybe I open to plenary at this point and ask, you know, we are all contributing in one way or another in NGO. What are some of the things that we can do tangibly to address some of those issues? Yeah. And also you can raise questions on chat. I open this session to plenary, but maybe you can kick us off by telling us what are the tangible things that we can do today, yeah, to address that so that we don't have this problem 20 years later. Is it the NGOs are not sustainable, as you mentioned, halfway broke? Is it the government is not giving us support? Is it the issue of funding? What is it that we can do?
Let me weigh in a little bit on the question in terms of what we're supposed to do to create change. It's always easy to shift the blame to the other party. For example, you might say that the government is not doing its role or the private sector is not doing its role. But the basic thing that I think can cause a change is the mind shift from us contributing towards having a change. Let me give you an example. For example, if you talk about the 3 Ps, people, planet, and environment, about the environment, case example is litter does not get itself to the open spaces. We dispose of this litter in an improper manner. So if we can have a mind shift in terms of, I have my role to contribute in terms of disposing of the waste in a proper manner, the government will also play its role in terms of development of policy.
Giant, would you like to unmute yourself? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I think we can focus on streamlining the entire ecosystem for the improvement of Human Development Index. Yeah, the way I understand that the Human Development Index is comprising of 3 different major areas. That is the livelihood, education, and healthcare. If we focus on these 3 areas, the sustainability of the communities or the progress of the community will be automatically taken care of. The way I'm seeing in India as well, I believe that is the same thing is happening in Kenya and African continent, that the NGOs are working on the immediate issues that is coming from the communities. Yeah. But the sharp focus on creating the right kind of ecosystem to improve holistically on the human development indicators may not be happening. So the kind of a team Africa CSR Connect is building, I am sure the ecosystem can be created for the communities to evolve, communities to develop in all around holistic direction. I mean, the way I see the NGOs are working on one or two parameters with their passion, with their resources. They are not working in a kind of a ecosystem way. So I feel the platform, the Africa CSR Connect team and the NGOs can come together, develop a right ecosystem so that the growth can be inclusive, the development can be inclusive, and the communities, the locations can be developed in a holistic way. That's what thought comes in my mind.
We need to create a right ecosystem that's inclusive for growth and environment. And as Ebenezer said, we need to change mindset. It's a mind shift that we are asking for. Can I just ask for one more commentary from the plenary, or from anyone who may say something?
So Janet, if I can jump in, I know I'm not plenary, but one of the things about changing communities or improving communities is really about getting people to care about the issue, getting them to understand that the issue is theirs, and moving away from a mindset of help coming from outside. Because the truth of the matter is that a lot of the resources we have within ourselves to create the change we need. But what we don't have is the right mindset. I'll give you an example. 10 years, 20 years ago here, it was laughable if you talked about growing hay as a drought risk reduction measure. Today, we have about 7 huge farms in this area that grow hay, and several smaller homesteads have their own, an eighth of an acre or an acre where they have at least paddocked, and it allows hay to grow during the dry season. Why did this shift change? Two things happened. Champions started in the whole local area. So people were able to see over time that their cattle didn't move when there was drought. They were able to sustain their cattle very comfortably. So that began the change of, yes, growing hay and even buying hay is a thing. It can actually be one of the mitigation options. And that's what began to happen. So here people now buy hay. When we first moved in, people never used to buy hay. It was not even in the market. Now it comes all the way to the local markets here because a culture has been created. So changing of attitudes, somebody mentioned that, changing of knowledge, attitudes, and practices is very key. And we need to really work with our young people because their minds are ripe for change. The older generation probably are stuck in their ways, but the new generation, the young people, are open to doing things differently, managing their ecosystem differently. A second thing that needs to happen is, I believe, local governments, our county governments need to be aware that there's a huge gap between practice and policy and practice. The policy is there, but the practice is missing. And there needs to be bridging between what policy says and what practice is doing. And as long as that gap remains, we will see a huge disconnect between what the locals are doing on the ground and what the local governments or the national governments are talking about in round tables. So there also needs to be championing at the local government and national government for a change in the way business is done, so that even private sector will see the value of CSR to come and support local communities, build their name there, build the communities and build their future customers. And when the policy, the practice, private sector and local communities come together, you then build a sustainable ecosystem. Thank you.
I agree with Kimaru. I think the right mindset and the capability building is the key message. That's what I get. I mean, I resonate with our experience, what we are getting here.
That's powerful. I just want to throw out there to all our guests, just what can we do, or what's happening, that huge gap between policy and practice. Maybe the ones advising government or working with government or with KEPSA, maybe just shed some light on if there's anything being done in bridging this gap between policy and practice. It's an open question to all our guests.
Now that you mentioned KEPSA, let me comment a little bit. Okay. I always if you look at Kenya, Kenya is an interesting country, and we are very good in terms of creating policy. So the question you'll ask yourself is, where did the rain hit us? There's always a disconnect between policy and implementation. And it's because government will play its role in terms of creating the policy, and the institutions that are then given the mandate to ensure that policy is enforced. But you cannot do this, or the government cannot do this without engaging the public. That is why I began with the concept of changing the mind shift. It's more or less like you create rules in your home, but you do not explain the rules to your children, right? So how then do you expect these rules to be followed? So awareness creation of the policy is also important in this case. There's something that we always call behavior change communication. Now, you need to create awareness of the policy, create awareness of the regulations, and what are the benefits in terms of you being able to execute these policies. And then the public will see the benefit, and then it will cause a change of behavior. So in my view, of course, there are some gaps in terms of policy. For example, if we look at the need to shift from a linear to a circular economy, there are elements of which the government is still working on. And we as KEPSA are working closely with the government to be able to resolve these issues, because our main mandate is to look at how can we create a conducive environment for the private sector to operate. So it's through our public-private dialogues that we start these discussions and reach out to government and say, hey, we can improve on this particular policy. On the element of CSR, that's corporate social responsibility, it's also a matter of the companies now beginning to look at their business model and strategy and aligning them to SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. Sometimes we might look at SDGs and say, yeah, these are too many, they're 17, so where does my strategy connect with the SDGs? But it's an important element for us to incorporate within our business model. Some of the companies who learned this before, you will see that they have made major strides. If I give you an example of one of our members, in Safaricom, they did this a while back, and they're incorporating the SDGs into their strategy. So it's a mix, but I still go back to the basics on Mindshift. I always like looking at it from the simple perspective rather than looking at it from a very complicated angle, and sometimes it's not practical when it comes to execution. There's always this comment that they say that the academia makes proposals, but when it comes to implementation, you need to find someone else who has a practical angle in terms of implementation. Thank you.
Thank you, Ebenezer. So really, it's moving the right mindset, as Judy said. We have to first move, get the mind shift. That's where the solution lies. Yeah. Can I just open one more? Anyone would like to comment on that? well, we're not closing the discussion. Maybe I'll come and I'll invite our next speaker, Arvind. Arvind is from India CSR, but is also supporting us here in Kenya as our operations director. So he's double hatting. He's on the India CSR team, but the AfricaCSRconnect operations director. So I'll invite Arvind to tell us more about how we can be a partner and an enabler in bridging this gap. Arvind, over to you.
Thanks, Janet. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Arvind, Director for Operations and Strategy. Thanks for joining us today to witness the launch of AfricaCSRconnect, our cutting-edge CSR lifecycle management solution. AfricaCSRconnect enables corporates and NGOs to resolve CSR pain points by leveraging on a technology-enabled collaborative online platform for effective strategy formulation and efficient implementation. AfricaCSRconnect has 4 product offerings. For corporates, we have DGCSR Plus for providing complex and high-level solutions. Similarly, for micro, small, medium enterprises, we have Micro CSR Plus for providing simple and complex level solutions. Simple and based on the requirement. Simple solutions, I can say. Whereas for NGOs, social entrepreneurs, CBOs, charities, we have DG NGO Plus, which is a combination of technology and human intelligence for simple, complex, medium, high level, cost-effective solutions. We have another product called Uplift Plus. This is a technology-enabled fundraising solutions to uplift NGOs, SCAs for creating sustainable and scalable impacts by ensuring transparency and accountability. These products helps CSR ecosystem stakeholders in resolving their pain points and to address their challenges. Some of the key challenges from corporate sides are ensuring SROI, compliances, SOPs, right impact creating thematic areas, designing SIPs, identifying right PIAs, appropriate right CSR lifecycle management systems for corporates. Similarly, we have a few challenges at the NGO side. Majorly, to give a few lists, compliance, governance, sustainability, capacity building, identifying right thematic areas again, tapping potential local resources, including funding, effective project management, monitoring, impact assessment, reporting, etc. Yeah. AfricaCSRconnect equips CSR ecosystem stakeholders with necessary tools and technology solutions for discovery, fulfillment, and engagement, resulting in better transparency and efficiency of the entire CSR lifecycle. Our solutions are aligned to different national and international frameworks such as SDGs, UNDP's Sustainable Development Goals, HDI, and so many. Our solutions are enabled with technology. Our solutions are innovative, scalable, sustainable, customizable, context-specific, and supportive of all CSR requirements. To achieve our dreams, we are prioritizing the untapped potential of local funding and project implementation partners, hence creating crucial connections to bridge the existing gaps within both NGO and CSR sectors. Furthermore, the connections created transcends corporates to volunteers, vendors, consultants, and professionals whose services are required within the CSR lifecycle. We, the team of AfricaCSRconnect, is looking forward to work with you all and all stakeholders to achieve our common goal. Thank you.
Thank you, Arvind, and thank you everyone for your inputs. Our distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I welcome everyone to to our Africa CSR Connect launch. It's good to see so many of you here to mark this grand achievement. And I would like to extend a special welcome to all our guests. First and foremost, I give God all the glory for making this Africa CSR Connect launch a reality. Amidst the cheers, the labor of love, and each threatening storm, we saw his hand, and indeed his wisdom guided us through. I'd also like to convey my gratitude to all my staff for their tireless and selfless efforts into making this launch a reality. Without their professional dedication, this project would not have come to term. To Kalida Social Enterprise India, the entire India CSR Connect team, Levanta Africa, and the professionals we consulted, thank you for your kind support over the last couple of months. Today, SSDE, as we're called, proudly unveils the full suite of our Africa Connect products, namely DG CSR Plus, Micro CSR Plus. Those are intended towards the corporates. And then we have DG NGO and Uplift Plus, dedicated to NGOs, charities, community-based organizations, as well as social enterprise initiatives. Kenya is indeed the first country in Africa with such technology, but we have our sights on establishing a footprint in 9 countries. So we'll move towards including Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi, South Sudan, Somalia, the DRC, and Ethiopia within the near term. Subsequently, we commit to spearheading expansion of Africa CSR across the rest of Africa. I'll go into a bit of detail about the product. So Africa CSR Connect includes an innovative software as a service product, leveraging on top of class cloud-based technology. And we believe that this will give us a major competitive advantage in the market. Our customers' data is stored securely, observing data protection principles of lawfulness, fairness, and transparency, purpose limitation, data minimization, accuracy, storage limitation, integrity, confidentiality around security, and then accountability. So look at Africa CSR Connect. We know it will definitely change the way in which corporates of the future will execute CSR. For the first time, corporates will gain first-hand visibility of the scope, the status, financials, and impact of CSR projects, thus enhancing transparency, accountability, governance, and reporting, which of course are critical in securing a social return on investment. CSR corporates, SDE, which is our company, will now avail the necessary skill set and technology for smart CSR. Corporates can now have an opportunity to focus on their core business, while rest assured that CSR is at the heart of it all. Africa CSR Connect supports alignment to different relevant frameworks, as mentioned by Arvind, such as the Big Four government agenda, Vision 2030, the SDGs, HDI, and also the UN Global Compact. And this will ensure that CSR initiatives by corporates remain relevant and have tangible impact. Through this, we hope to accelerate CSR maturity from the lower tiers of operate for profit, and even those within philanthropy or those performing ad hoc social investment or strategic social engagement, which we find many of our corporates in, and we'll transform them to that higher standard of sustainable business. Now, Africa CSR Connect is also changing the way in which NGOs of the future will operate. by supporting their transformation to digital organizations poised to consistently deliver sustainable impact to the communities they work in. It is our firm belief that technology can be a great enabler in capacity building and showcasing of resources, capabilities, governance, and genuine intent. So NGOs, charities, community-based organizations, as well as social enterprise initiatives will for the first time have an online platform for effective project management, data management, as well as funds utilization. Access to accurate and structured data will support compliance to statutory NGO annual reporting. I think that was mentioned by Stephen Cheboy, because the last reported value was about 34% in 2018-2019. So there's a lot of room for improvement and pushing this up to close to 100%. Again, as said by most of our speakers, funding has been one of the predominant challenges facing NGOs. According to the NGOs Coordination Board annual report of 2018-2019, 88% of NGO funding is foreign. And at the same time, 2% is drawn from corporates, and this presents a big risk to NGO sustainability and resilience. So the question is, can that be overturned, where we can have bulk of the funding being sourced internally within our country? And also, what is the opportunity of raising corporate funding to NGOs from 2% to say even 50 or 75%? So the challenges around funding continue to present a big risk to NGO sustainability and resilience. What we bring onto the table is that AfricaCSRconnect will support diversification of NGO funding by leveraging on partnerships and corporates, leveraging on CSR partnerships between corporates and themselves, in addition to growing local crowdfunding and philanthropy. So this will just move the mindset from, it is my problem, it is not their problem. I need to step in and make an impact in our society. Our fundraising support will, of course, help the NGOs to streamline and also expedite the entire funding process. We may be the first entrance to the market, but SSDE does not plan on slowing down. We aspire to influence the CSR landscape towards creating sustainable impact at a national and continental level. We will continue to work hard to ensure that we provide an impeccable, dependable, state-of-art, and relevant service to our customers. We commit to creating connections for sustainable impact. In conclusion, I would encourage all of you here to explore and experience the benefits of AfricaCSRconnect and its various services. We invite you to create impactful change that is in harmony with your organization's purpose. We'd love to hear more from you. Contact us via our website, AfricaCSRconnect.com, via phone, email, or our social media channels. Thank you all for your attention. Thank you.
Very much, Gerald. We are delighted to be part of the team and we look forward to this transformation. I like what you said, just what has been repeated, mind shift to the right mindset. So we're coming to the climax of our launch. And here we're going to unveil our logo. You know, they say a picture tells 1,000 words. So when you see our logo identity, then you can remember us. It's nice to have a face. So this is who we are. Our vision is broad, it's Africa-wide. And that's why we are bravely calling ourselves AfricaCSRconnect.
I sincerely wish to express our sincere gratitude to each one of you for making this day possible and for creating time to be with us. and for the contribution that you have made for the successful launch of AfricaCSRconnect. Special thanks to Jayant Pandey and the entire team at Kalidas Group and the India CSR Connect. Jayant and his team took us through rigorous training and hand-holding for a couple of months, for which we are truly grateful, and we feel empowered to commence this journey here in Africa. We thank you for the leadership, the visionary leadership, the cooperative support from your entire team, Amelia, Shayla, and the entire team from India CSR Connect. We want to thank you, Stephen Cheboy, from the NGO board, for the support at a very short notice that you have enabled your presence here and your contribution. We do not take that for granted, and we thank you very much. Thank you, Ebenezer Amadi from KEPSA. We thank you very much for your insights, and we look forward to your support and your partnership in the future. We thank you, Dr. Judy Kemaro from ECHO and Environmental Sustainable Livelihoods. We thank you for your great insights, for the conversation you have given us and you have taken us through. We appreciate you very much. We want to say thank you to Lucy Njuguna from Nurse in Hand. Lucy has been our first local partner, and we have journeyed together, and we are so grateful for the work that we have commenced, and we look forward to great partnership into the future. Thanks to our local and international team, local being Gerald, Eda, Tamara, Jim, Wangeshi, Janet, our MC of today and facilitator, Ronnie Chelelgo, who was unable to be with us, but he's with us behind the scenes. And very special thanks to Arvind, who is our strategy director all the way from India. Above all, we want to thank God for making this day possible and for granting us good health, that we are able to share and to be together here, and to look forward to many more opportunities into the future. We thank you all and wish you all the best with the day, and look forward to interaction in the coming future. All right, back to you, Janet.
Thank you very much, Marianne. Thank you, everyone. And I now have the pleasure of bringing this session to a close. Thank you. We'll be in touch, and we do hope to work together to bring this sustainable impact across Africa. Thank you.